A complex life filled with excess and multidimensional characters has a greater propensity for unknowns, uncertainties, difficulties, and errors. Henry David Thoreau says, all these are stress inducers, so strip out the complexity and try to keep things simple as much as possible. It makes life easier. Thoreau was right when he exhorted us to simplify. Have you ever asked yourself why most of us end up with more stuff than we need? According to James Wallman, the author of Stuffocation, a book on material consumption, we are evolutionarily programmed to cling onto stuff. Wallman says, in times of scarcity, this desire for material goods has a real survival benefit. But in the current age of abundance, this evolutionary holdover is causing us all to drown in our own glut. Today, we are living in the most materially rich society in global history, with light years more possessions per average family than any preceding society. According to California Closet's study, the average person only wears around 20% of the clothes they own, and this is particularly true among women. Most clothing goes unworn because it is the result of an impulse buy, or it doesn't fit. Furthermore, scientific studies suggest the retail industry relies on these impulse purchases to stay in business. There is no doubt most of us are guilty of excess consumption in one way or another. In an extensive study, it is found that in the United States, 9 out of 10 had so many things that they kept household stuff in the garage, and 3/4 of them had so much stuff in garage that there is no room left for cars. Today, when people run out of space for their possessions at home, they resort to renting storage facilities. The US now has 2.3 billion square feet of storage space, and 50% of storage renters are simply storing what wouldn't fit into their homes, even though the average size of the American home has almost doubled in the past 50 years. But the sad thing is, most of this stuff in storage will remain unseen, unused, and forgotten. That is why Chuck Palahniuk says in Fight Club, the things you own end up owning you. The problem is, most of us like to have more stuff than we need. That is the norm in our modern, consumerist-driven society. At the individual level, the possessions we own are mistakenly perceived as being able to provide us with happiness, fulfillment, and in some instances, comfort and security. Hence, we accumulate and consume in the hope that the more possessions we have, the happier we will become. However, numerous studies shown that we, as a society, are less happy now than decades ago, despite earning and owning more. Philosophy of minimalism says, bigger, better, and more comes with baggage and price tags. Our expectations tend to be limitless, so satisfying them can be an endless pursuit. And this is one of the paradoxes of modern-day living. We have too much and, at the same time, too little. Another key driver for excessive consumption and ownership at an individual level is that we are led to believe that the things we own define who we are and how much we are worth. Our identity, status, and degree of success are commonly tied to the size of our houses, the make of the car we drive, the number of branded suits we own, etc. We are therefore programmed to signal our identity and value through the stuff we own. The result of this, we got more stuff than we need, and more stress from working hard to buy these stuff in order to keep up appearances and maintain our lifestyle. And in the process, we end up serving our stuff rather than the other way round, as it should be. Many of us spend the bulk of our life working in a job we don't like in order to buy stuff to impress people we care little for. It is no wonder that so many of us are mired in unhappiness and stress. This video is made to offer an alternative to the good life, and minimalism can do it. We can live more fully with happiness and fulfillment, with less clutter and less stress. But for that, we must move on from overconsumption to curated living. We must focus on what's of value and essential to our happiness. We have to shift from the bigger is better mentality and embrace the concept of lagom, or just enough. This way, we will slow down our fast-paced, stressed-out lives and start appreciating the people and things around us. There isn't anything wrong with owning stuff or with consumption. The problem arises when we give too much meaning to the stuff we own without questioning why we own it. Have nothing in your home that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful, says William Morris. In Chinese philosophy, Qi is the name for circulating life energy. Chinese philosophy says all matter is energy, and in order for things to live, grow, and prosper, Qi has to flow. It is believed emotional blockages and physical clutter blocks the passage of Qi, life energy, and leads to ill health and stagnated or dead spaces, which affects both the growth and quality of your life. The Chinese also practice the art of Feng Shui, which literally means wind and water. This practice is to ensure that the physical placement of objects does not block the figurative flow of these two elements and their inherent energies. Needless to say, the smooth and unobstructed flow of these energy is what keeps our life force alive. It opens up the space for growth to take place. And by practicing minimalism, we can get rid of the non-essentials, be it mental, emotional, or physical. And this is beneficial for the flow of abundant energy, which will lead to new possibilities and unlimited potential. As Banani Ray says, flow is the nature of energy. The flow is another name for life. Becoming a minimalist is a mindset and lifestyle change. As author Joshua Becker says, don't just declutter, but de-own. Therefore, decluttering must first start with discarding. Decluttering without discarding is just organized hoarding. Rather than simply asking if we need or want an item, we need to ask if an item sparks joy, as Marie Kondo advises. We can also do it by category, as Kate Carpenter says, and I quote, "Once we have decided to do a thorough declutter of our excess stuff in the shortest time possible, the next step is to decide where to start. It is crucial to identify how much stuff we have in each category, for example, clothing, books, and kitchenware. When we declutter, we can look at a category as a whole and determine how much we have in that category and which and how many items to keep or discard." Kate Carpenter says, "More than enough is excess baggage. Consuming can make us feel good or more worthy, and so starve off feelings of inadequacy for a while. However, it is a never-ending pursuit. The novelty will wear off, and there will always be that next branded handbag or new car model to make us feel even more attractive or successful. The only way to break this pattern is to understand that you are good, lovely, and worthy as you are, without these external objects. Remind yourself, no one is judging you as a person by the dress you are wearing or the house you own. If they are, it might be worth evaluating if they are people you want to spend your time with. Adopting a minimalist lifestyle does not only transform our physical space, as described in the previous chapters. The transformation of our physical environment also brings about psychological and emotional changes. They are all part of a holistic mindset and lifestyle shift. Therefore, the least we can do to make our limited time in this world worthy and well-lived is to have the courage to live a life that is true to our values and dreams, instead of living the life people expect of us. We should not be measured by definitions and benchmarks that are laid out by others. Instead, take control of your life and identify what gives you joy. This will create a well-lived life. Wear the clothes you love and are comfortable in, rather than those you are expected to wear. We only live but once, so embrace your authentic self and lead the life you were meant to live. Be free. At the end of the day, you are the only one you have to be accountable to. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content.